Hey people, it's me again. So, anyways, as far as with like results on the election, I kind of feel like now, although should I like give up on that sort of thing there? Probably not, because it's the same thing that happened with when Prop 8 had passed about 8 years ago, and I was the one who basically had said something like Prop 8 passed, so what? And that it'll just be overturned, whether if it's in the court and all that, whether if it's in the state court or the federal court and all that. And then look what happened now. 5 years later, Prop 8 was overturned and all that, and that led into the whole series of all these lawsuits that overturned all these other properties or in other states. What if it was Measure 36 in Oregon, or Amendment 2 in Texas, or Prop 102, Amendment 3, and then Amendment 43 in Colorado, and so on and so forth, And then look what happened now. Now we have marriage equality throughout the land as far as that goes, and no huge earthquake, tsunami, or whatnot that destroyed the nation simply because two people of the same gender that just wants to have the same rights as people of opposite genders that simply take for granted in some cases, So, as far as with the whole thing with Bernie now, it's I applaud him as far as that goes. He's sticking it out there, because the truth is, it's not about him winning this sort of thing. It's him spreading this sort of message that's going to trickle down in the whole party as far as that goes. Him changing the party's platform, him putting some sort of revolution that it's not necessarily going to happen overnight, but it'll just eventually happen at some point, and it's something that the establishment just doesn't seem to quite understand at this point. Or in the fact that the establishment there has no point in trying to stop that sort of thing, because it happened many times before when there was when it was like the anti-war movement in the 60s and the 70s, that sort of thing. And then a couple of other movements that also happened at the time, where did they ever really stop as far as that goes, when everyone really just gave up on all that sort of thing? No, they never did. None of that sort of stuff, whether it was the civil rights movement, the suffragette movement, all these other movements there, they never had given up on all that. And so, frankly, for the establishment or people to call like Bernie to just give it up is an affront to all that sort of stuff, because he's the forefront of some sort of movement of wanting to get rid of money out of politics, to change the system, to make it, to clean it up and all that. Everybody knows it's all corrupt to the core and all that, and people are just tired of the same old left, or the whole choice between the lesser two evils and all this sort of stuff, and blah blah blah. If we keep going in this sort of stuff, probably people will not even vote in the next election, because of voter apathy. And that's just basically what the establishment wants everyone to think, that you can't really change this sort of thing. That if you don't like this sort of stuff, that the way it's going, then tough shit. If that was sort of the case with any of these other movements, that they gave up on all that, God, what can you imagine how life would have been like if all these sort of movements had given up? So, anyways, I guess that's probably until next time.